Question 3. The system of inequalities, x plus y is greater than or equal to 6, negative x plus y is less than or equal to 2, is graphed. Which region on the graph represents the solution to the system of inequalities? So let's remember that when we talk to the solution about the solution of a system of inequalities, we're talking about which shade is going to be colored in, okay, in both colors. So if you recall, when we graphed inequalities, we shaded in half the graph. And when we are doing two inequalities, we want this section that is shaded in for both equations. So let's see, x plus y is greater than or equal to 6. Looks to me like an inequality that has x and y intercepts at 0, 6, and 6, 0. Okay, so that would be the blue line. If you look at the blue line, it has that point right there at 0, 6, and that point right there at 6, 0. Okay, those both satisfy this inequality. So that's the blue line, and we want greater than this line. So probably above this line, right? So these two parts are above that line. So it's either going to be A or B, right? Because those are the parts above this line because it says greater than. Those are the parts that we would shade for that blue line. Then we have negative x plus y is less than or equal to 2. So notice how this is the inequality that has intercepts at 0, 2, and negative 2, 0, right? If we put those values into that inequality, they make a true statement. And we want it to be less than that line, so that's probably down here, okay, under that line. So it looks to me like section B is the region of the graph where we have shaded in blue and in red. Now before we just say that's the solution, we want to check a point and make sure it really works, because we kind of did that really quickly. Some of you aren't as comfortable just looking at it and saying, oh, this must be the blue line, must be this one, this inequality actually, and the red one must be this one. You might get confused. You might get confused with the greater than and less than. So what we're going to do is we're going to choose a point in that region, and we're going to test it in both inequalities and see if we get a true statement. So I am going to use yellow to point out that point. So we're going to go right here. Why? Because 10, 0 is a pretty simple point to use. I believe that's 10. It could be 10 is right past it, maybe right here. So we have the point 10, 0 is definitely in that region B that we would like to think is our solution. So let's try that point 10, 0 in both inequalities. Okay, so we have x plus y is greater than or equal to 6, and we want to try the point 10, 0. I'm going to just switch this over to black because this might not be so clear for you. So we want to try the point 10, 0. So that means we're putting in 10 for x, 0 for y. Okay, and we see 10 plus 0 is 10 is greater than or equal to 6. Is that a true statement? Yes, that's true. 10 is greater than 6. So we checked our first inequality and got a true statement. Now let's check our second inequality. Negative x plus y is less than or equal to 2. We want to check if 10, 0. So that means we're replacing x with 10, and we're replacing y with 0. Okay, that's to check the point 10, 0. And we see negative 10 plus 0 is negative 10. Is negative 10 less than or equal to 2? Yes, a negative number is definitely less than the positive number. So yes, we got a true statement there. So we know that we were right, that section B is the solution to both inequalities. So it's the solution to the system of inequalities because it worked for both inequalities.